Jimena. I'll be talking about the transformation in education. As future educators, it is important to acknowledge why we need a transformation in education and the need for it. Many things can come up when explaining this transformation, which is what we will be talking about now. The theory behind it is that there has been a huge change in education. There are many new practices and strategies that teacher educators are being taught to implement. The concept behind it is that the transformation in education is the concept of putting into practice anti-oppressive teaching to stray away from implicit bias and racist teaching, creating an equitable approach, using restorative justice practices, disciplinary actions that will benefit the students instead of harming them, and many more things. The transformation in education can be seen and interpreted in many areas, but it is especially put into practice by the educator. The educator plays a huge role in this transformation. Without our need and want for this transformation, there would be little to no change in this world. As I said before, the educator's role is very important. The educator must create a pedagogy focused on social justice. As explained on page 620 from Gangsters, Wanksters, and Writers, Defining, Developing, and Supporting Effective Teachers in Open Schools by Jeff Duncan Andrade, he explains effective teaching practices as a goal for all teachers to have. He explains it as have helped teachers and teacher educators name specific pedagogical theories that are the foundation of good teaching. Restorative justice is something that all teachers should be implementing, but it is very important for schools to implement this as well. It needs to be a school-wide practice in order for it to benefit the student. Restorative justice creates a huge difference put into practice. And laying from page 14 in Restorative Justice in the U.S. Schools Research book, our literature review indicates that educators and education leaders are giving more attention to creating a safe and supportive community that is built around fair, equitable, and transparent rules, healthy relationships between students and adults that support student growth and avoid disparities and punishment for minority groups of students. Critical race theory of education is something that we must acknowledge because of the intersections and perspectives that students will have. We must acknowledge systemic racism and its part in education. Critical race theory is a concept that can be defined as first step toward justice. Now, why do we need a transformation? We need a transformation because the matter of fact is that there is a lot of damage that has been done that has resulted in a domino effect that impacts us today. As future educator and educators, it is our chance to change and create a new way of teaching that will benefit our community. Harmful practices that are being used are that have been used and can still be seen are the school to prison pipeline, which is the practice of pushing kids out of school, and towards the juvenile and criminal justice system, zero tolerance policies that are harsh and do no good to any students, implicit bias that is subconscious thinking and many are unaware of, and cultural deficit thinking that creates a perspective that blames the inability and the worth ethics of students. That's teachers who believe this is why minority students create decisions. These coincide with each other. My experience is that elementary school in the past is very different from now. PBIS, SEL, classroom norms, and conversation had by students is greatly different. And in my experience, now that I do work in an elementary school, is that there is a great change in how educators go about creating a safe environment for students. Thank you.